Our first assignment this semester begins with you, your LinkedIn profile, and your cover letter. First, you're going to be upgrading your LinkedIn profile because we'll be looking at that in a few weeks. Here's what you need to do. First, if you don't have a profile, you'll need to create one. Here's 2 examples from former students in this class. Second, you'll want to add contacts. Local professionals with similar interests, potential employers, very important, influencers, regardless of geography, especially in the area that you want to work in, classmates with many contacts so that you can access their list and maybe add them too. And in the end, you might want to add a professor or 2. One of them might be me. After you do that, you'll want to add groups because you want to get involved with these. PRSA Miami, which our FIU, School of Communication and Journalism, already has an affiliation. There's another PRSA chapter up in Lauderdale if you live in Broward. There's a Legal Marketing Association, the Florida Public Relations Association, PR professionals, young PR pros, and so forth. These are the groups that you want to be part of and you want to follow because they will help you get jobs, internships, and information. You'll also want to follow companies. This is a list of large employers, RBB, Republica, and so forth. Also some of the big networks in town, Univision, Fusion, Telemundo. And you want to add recommendations from current and former bosses, people who supervised you in an internship, professionals with whom you worked on projects, and if you're already in the PR business, your clients. You do not add friends, co-workers, and certainly not your mom. She will write you a great recommendation, but it doesn't carry much credibility with the professional world. And that's what LinkedIn is all about, is showing you to a professional audience. You'll also need a professional photo. Here are 2 from former students. And here are 2 more examples. Notice that if you're doing things outdoor, you want to keep that background out of focus so it doesn't distract things. All right. So step 1, you're going to build your LinkedIn profile, add contacts, groups, and so forth. Now, part 2, and this is what to do next week. You're going to write a cover letter, either for an internship, which may be one that you've seen out there, or for a company for which you'd like to work. For example, you might want an internship with them, or you might want actually a full-time job. You get to pick which company or organization, which could be a nonprofit, you would like to apply to. Your letter is going to consist of 4 or 5 paragraphs in which you, 1, state the position for which you are applying, 2, make a connection by showing why you want to work for the organization. This is very important. Employers, they're receiving tons of applications, many of which are just copy and paste type of things in which they say, I would like a job in your internship, but they never say why. The next thing you're going to do is to show in benefit-oriented terms your qualifications. What is it that you can do that will help the employer achieve its goals? And the last thing you're going to do is the call to action. You're going to ask for an interview. Now, the assignment and letter examples will be up on Blackboard. In your letter, you'll want to get to the point in the first sentence. I'm applying for blank. State exactly what it is, where you saw it, and so forth. Next, you want to establish a connection, and we just talked about that. So, to establish a strong connection, you'll want to research the company or a PR firm if you want to work for an agency, and cite the specific business activities or clients. So what is it that that company does? Is it in tourism? Is it in fashion? Is it in the restaurant business? Is it something else, a law firm? That third paragraph is going to show what you can contribute by writing about your quantified successes. So you don't say that you managed the social media for the company. What you do say is how many followers you added while you were there, and you can express that in percentage terms. It's impressive when you can say you doubled, tripled, or added 1,000 new followers in the 6 months that you were doing that social media. Last, you're going to ask for an interview. You will include an email address, not an FIU one because it makes you look like a student. Go get a professional Gmail address and a phone number. You want that in the letter because while you might have it on your resume, if somehow your resume gets lost, the people will still have a way to get in touch with you. When writing your letter, go onto Blackboard and you'll see the PowerPoint and several examples of excellent cover letters. Copy their format and put in your information. Work from those examples to make your letter as strong as possible. Let's talk about what you don't want to write. I am a fast learner, hard worker, and enthusiastic. Of course, everybody is. And the fact that you're studying public relations is obvious from your resume, and also probably from your LinkedIn profile. You want to work in public relations. Another obvious statement. Why else would you apply? And finally, I want to gain skills and knowledge. Well, yeah, they know that because you're applying for an internship or a job. You want to grow as a professional, and so do all the other applicants. Instead, you need to show what makes you first, best, or different. And that's not something you can simply put on paper or type out in 5 minutes. So you're going to need to take some time. What makes you first, best, or different? What have you done that nobody else has done for an organization? What have you done that's better than anybody else, that's going to make a difference to that potential employer? What have you done that's different? These are not easy things to think about, and again, you're going to need some time. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First draft, if you're in the online section, is January 16 at 9 a.m. If you're in the hybrid section, the one that meets on Thursdays, it is due January 18 at class time. You're going to label your Word file with your name and cover letter in the subject line. And you're going to file as an attachment and send it to my Gmail address. All assignments go to the Gmail address. If you want to send to the FIU address, that's fine. It's just going to get forwarded over anyway. In the subject line, you're going to write your name and the word cover letter, just like you're going to name your Word file. So Carlos is the name we use for all our examples. Carlos cover letter in the subject line. Carlos cover letter is the name of your assignment in the Word file. For those of you in the online section, your edited cover letter will be returned by January 22nd, and the final version is due on the 26th. If you're in the in-person or hybrid section, the revision will come back to you by the 24th, and the final version is due the 28th. And as noted before, we'll be reviewing your LinkedIn profile the week of January 22nd. Any questions? Email me or schedule an editing session.